Welcome back to day 12 of this unboxing advent calendar as we finish off the whole theme that I've been going for of Earthbound. And we're going to be doing that with, well, some Earth modes. That's right, we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Dramatic Capture Series Autobot Headquarters set that just came out. This is new paint jobs released by Takara Tomy of the Earthrise Optimus Prime, the Studio Series 86 Jazz, and Kingdom Mainframe. And really, Mainframe is the main reason that one would want to get this set. After all, this set is going to give us Mainframe in as close as you can get without compromising the Teletran 1 mode. It's going to get as close as you can get to his Action Master colors. So with that said, let's get this set open, shall we? There's a slip cover on it, first of all. This is like the previous Dramatic Capture set, which, if people remember, had Shockwave, Megatron, and Soundwave in it. And that was a really nice set. So yeah, you can see here that continues it. We have this really nice finish here with the Teletran 1 CAD model right there. Right, and opening it up, you can see here that everything is just being showcased right here in the box. We have Prime, we have Jazz, we have Mainframe as Teletran 1, and of course we have Jazz's gun, the Sky Spy, and Prime's gun. So let's get these out, and let's take a closer look at them. Optimus, as you can see here, is going for much more animation-accurate colors. Again, this is just like the previous Dramatic Capture set, where they were straight up going just for G1-style animation colors. Admittedly, Prime is coming out after we've already gotten the really, really good Studio Series 86 release of the toy. So there might not be that much new to him, but hey, that's what the fun of this is. That is where the fun is. And Jazz, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Jazz compares to the Studio Series 86 repaint. Because, yeah, that's the one that I have out right now. The other one is kind of in perma-storage. So let's get Jazz out. And we just need to clip these last couple twist ties. Because for whatever reason they twist tied in his hands. So I can't actually get him out without clipping these. There we go. So, pulling all that stuff out and bringing the box back out, let's take a closer look at these figures. So, we're going to look at this multi-pack piece by piece, and we may as well start with the leader himself, the leader of the pack. You know him well. It's Optimus Prime. And yeah, you can see here that it is a very, very animation-inspired deco here. We have just a full-on white legs there, white crotch area. We have this really nice, just bright blue underneath that. Matrix is still present, of course. Everything in here is painted nice and silver. And the face is where this really shines here, too. If you look here, you can see that Optimus's face is no longer silver. It is a matte gray on this face here. And it looks really good. It's like the Studio Series figure, honestly, in terms of how it is. Yeah, looking around the back, you can see that, obviously, you know, there's going to be the cutaway there because of the bits for alt mode. But, yeah, it looks really nice. It's really simplified paint deco. And, of course, yeah, posability-wise, it's not that different than previous Earthrise releases. It's the same. You know, we got a ball-jointed head right there. We already showed that this opens up here and that we have a matrix inside. Matrix is removable, of course. And it's just your standard Autobot matrix of leadership. Nothing really brand new about it. Yeah, the matrix can be held in his hands because they do open up, which is really nice. What else? We have a, waist articulation right here, blocked a little bit by the back kibble. Yeah, legs, the style of crotch that I really like. Yeah, this swivels around. We have a swivel, really good knee joint right there. And what else is there for posability? Let's see. We got ankle tilts. We have up and down for the feet. Again, I like just how simple they kept this deco here. It's just very well done. Just even down to just a little bit of the silver bit in here. It's a nice, simplistic, animation-friendly deco. Yeah, shoulders around like that, around like this, about 90 degrees here, and then, yeah, and then we got a full wrist articulation and those opening fingers. So yeah, Prime looks really good here. Prime looks very, very good here. And just to take a look at other ones, here is the Netflix release of the Earthrise Optimus, just to compare. This isn't that different than the Earthrise one. There's a few differences, but yeah, it's going for a much more realistic truck here, as you can see. Just with all the extra deco apps there and stuff, which this one doesn't have because in G1 he never actually had the stripes in alt mode. Yeah, but yeah, it's quite a bit of a contrast here. And, for posterity, we need to bring in the Commander class figure just to see how this actually does shape up next to the Commander. So yeah, looking at the Commander here, this is, honestly, this is a pretty good alternative to the Commander right here. It's not a deco match, obviously. This red is darker. The colors don't quite match up, but it's the same spirit. It's the same general spirit, figure-wise. Like, you can really see that they were going for the same type of thing on this toy. And honestly, this one is, if you don't want a figure that's quite as big as the Commander, I would consider this one to be a pretty good alternative on its own. Transforming the toy is pretty much the same as past releases. It's going to be pretty straightforward and simple. We're going to start here by just bringing the legs close together. We're going to bring out these bits over here. And then, and then we're going to just do all the fancy stuff involving the cab. Open this up here so that we can get the head back. This is all going to come up too. We get the headlamps out there. We get these bits out over here. What else? Yeah. This needs to go back so the head can go in. And then that closes up. We have the kibble backpack here. This all comes down, around. These legs come up like this. This pegs into the sides. What else? These fold out as this whole waist pivots around. Get these all the way out. And then, and then we're going to just start finishing this up. Again, this Earthrise toy is still a very solid mold. Like, we didn't really need a Commander class Optimus. And I've gotten a bajillion versions of this. I mean, I think we all have. But yeah, this is a really nice looking version of the mold, though, I gotta say. Yeah, now we just bring the arms in. Fold this up. Come back over here. Do the same thing with this arm. Get the hands folded up. Close this up. And then just do that. That. And there we have this Optimus Prime here in his alt mode. And again, you can see here it is going very, very animation accurate in the deco, like as animation accurate as the mold allows. And it looks pretty good. Same thing as the other one before. I guess we can also still fold these bits up over here, come to think. Yeah, these can still go up. Still get that up there, and then bring this all down over here in order to cover those legs just a little bit more. And I mean, that still works pretty well. It's still leg reuse from the Siege toy, but yeah, it looks pretty good here. And then we can just plug the gun there and fold it up, or just plug it in over here, or even I guess we could just store the gun back here. Yeah, that actually works really well. That's right. So yeah, that's the Optimus here in his alt mode. So let's look at the other two, since this is all still technically one unboxing. Okay, next up, we're going to take a look at Jazz over here. And Jazz, again, is the Studio Series 86 version of the mold. It does have clear plastic here still, unlike that Studio Series 86 release that we got. Yeah, I mean, the windows look pretty good. The paint looks pretty good here. Bringing them all around. Posability-wise, let's see, we have that ball-jointed head. Shoulders go out to here. Shoulders also come around here. Swivel up here. 90-degree bend. What else? No wrist swivel here. We can just put the gun in here as well, too. But yeah, no wrists, just because of the transformation and because it's a deluxe. Let's see. Waist. Waist goes about here. We can move the backpack to get a little bit more out of the waist. And then, for the legs, let's see, jump. And and then we have the knees are about 90 degrees. And then, yeah, and then we have the toes up and down, and this mold does have ankle tilts as well, too. So, yeah, again, this is a very good jazz mold. And the important question is, how does this compare to other jazzes? And for that, we have, we have the 86 version of jazz. And you can see here that there's a lot in common between these two. It still has a little bit over here. One bit here that they didn't do is they didn't paint this stripe up here. I think that's a deliberate decision because of just how the deco was done on G1 Jazz. We got the striping over there. I mean, honestly, this mode is looking a little bit more vibrant looking at the deco here, just in terms of like the reds that are used here versus the the much duller reds on this one over here. So, yeah. And then, of course, interestingly enough, this is a little bit of a surprise. While this one here is using matte colors for the legs here, this one is still using silver. It's just an interesting observation. This one is fully matte. This one is still using metallics. Like, even the face here, like the faces on this jazz here is full on metallic, whereas this release here is full on a matte gray. Interesting comparison here. So anyway, with that said, we're going to transform Jazz. Yeah. Transform Jazz. He still has that 14 on his doors instead of 4 like the original. As we all know, there's not much reason to touch too harshly on that because that is entirely just a matter of IP and the fact that Martini has the rights to that particular livery there. So they can't just go and use it, unfortunately. That's legalities for you. That's the unfortunate reality of legal stuff. What's the next bit here? I'm just trying to remember how this all goes. Yeah, head goes down. And under there. And then this is all going to be able to fold up now. Like that. This bit here comes up. This all folds in like that there. Let's see what else. Arms are going to come round. I think it's like this that they go if memory serves. Yeah, arms are going to go in like this over here. Let's move back over to the legs now. Legs are going to just telescope up. We've got the the bumper back over here. These bits are going to fold all the way down like this. Lock back into place as we fold this up. And then, we just bring the back of the car down. Bring all this all the way around and peg everything down. Like so. And I guess, just fold these in here, peg those in, and there we have Jazz in his alt mode. Again, we still have that 14, but it's looking pretty good here. I mean, we have, the consistent stripe running all the way up here. I like here that, this is all like a secondary color as well. We have these full stripes. Deco-wise, this might actually be the one that has the most out of all the figures. Like, looking at this Jazz over here, let's see. I mean, like this one here, for instance, they painted under the feet as well. Because they didn't, they do blend over here with the alt mode a little bit more the way they painted it. Looking at it, I don't think that there is a lot of differences in terms of the actual paint jobs. It's got a lot of the same details that this one does, but it's slightly tweaked colors. I think really the big difference between the two is going to just come down to the fact that this one has clear plastic windows and the Hasbro release does not. It's entirely going to be a matter of personal preference. I'm really not sure which one I would say is better. They're both pretty good. Again, we can also peg the gun up here. Although just keep in mind when you peg the gun up here that this area here has been prone to cracking on other releases of the toy. Probably the most obtrusive thing here is the fact that because this hinge can't be clear plastic, because of just the way this is designed, it's just kind of like obtrusively sticking out there in the middle of the back window there. But this is a pretty good Jazz. All right, and moving on to the third guy in our set, we have Mainframe right over here, who turns into Teletran 1. And in this mode, I don't think there's actually all that much different in this mode. You know, you can see some hints of differences, like with the foot colors there, but yeah, it still has all the same details here. These tampographies haven't changed between the releases. Yeah, you can see from the back, obviously, it's very different. He doesn't have the golden discs with him, unless they're in the bag. I will have to double check that. But I don't believe he has the golden discs. And if he does, I will probably put a note right there. Matching on all these colors here, you know, because a couple of these plastics are different plastics, but the matching is all very good. They pretty much got it straight on. You know, the Hasbro one doesn't quite 100% match, although that might also be just plastic aging with time. But yeah, I mean, it's a good-looking Teletran 1 right here. Yeah, let's transform him now, shall we? We're not going to bother with that arc mode because, well, quite frankly, we're not really going to be putting this guy in the arc. Yeah, this was still a very clever use of Hasbro's there when they did Mainframe, in terms of the fact that they went, what is Teletran 1 going to turn into? Oh, hey, what if it turned into that Action Master character who never actually had a robot mode? Sorry, who never actually had an alt mode? You know, because Action Master. And yeah, so they straight up did that, and they took advantage of the fact that Mainframe's design always suggested he turned into a computer mainframe of some kind. And, you know, that does limit what they can do with Deco on him, obviously. You know, they still have to get those Teletran 1 colors in. But, you know, because of the nature of the transformation, they're still able to sneak in a lot of Mainframe's colors. Like you can see here as we transform him that, yeah, we have, Mainframe doesn't have his blue legs here, but he does have the red upper legs. He's got his blue torso over here. They get a lot of the important things in here. Yeah, this unpegs here, and then we can do the dramatic head reveal. Bring this all together here. There is room for the Sky Spy to store in there, but I will take a look at the Sky Spy separately. And then, yeah, you just bring all this down. We have his, you know, traditional gray forearms, his red shoulders. And then, yeah, and then we just do the dramatic head reveal. And, oh, hey, it's an update of an Action Master character who never really gets much of a due in anything. And, yeah, I mean, he looks pretty good here in terms of actual deco. They did a pretty good job of getting Mainframe's deco onto Teletran 1 without compromising the Teletran mode. You know, like, they even managed to sneak some blue on the side panels over here. So, yeah, it's a very nice Mainframe. This is kind of the deco that would have been nice to get that, you know, we were never going to get on the Hasbro release because of how much paint that would have cost. But it's nice that Takara went ahead and did this. It's a nice little nod. Looking at articulation here, yeah, we have a swivel head, of course. Shoulders go up here. Go around here. One advantage, too, of some of this plastic stuff as well is that some of these plastics, having in customs with this figure, some of these plastics here don't hold paint quite as well. So casting them in a different color plastic is really nice. It's really nice that they were able to do that. Just speaking from first-hand customizer experience. So yeah, we have that going there. You know, swivel above the elbow, 90-degree elbows. Speaking of, no wrists. We do have that waist swivel, as you saw, though it's not very pronounced once he's transformed. It's very, very minimal. Let's see, legs, out like that, swivel. We have about 90-degree bend there, and we do have ankle tilts still. So he does still hit all of the bare minimum points for a Transformers figure in this day and age. Now, bringing in the Kingdom release of Mainframe here to compare, you can see just how much of a difference this paint budget makes. Like, and you can also see on this one here, just, you know, Hasbro just being very judicious in terms of the paint use. Like this one here, don't get me wrong, the deco that they did on the Mainframe that comes with the arc for the Hasbro one, it very much does fit with the overall aesthetic of the arc. It makes them a more unified figure right there. But it's also not Mainframe's deco. This one here just highlights all of the Mainframe details that were already on the toy and just gives you that Action Master update for an Action Master that, well, let's be honest, just about it no one cares about because he is an Action Master who isn't one of the more notable ones. I mean, that happens. He's no Bonsaitron. So yeah, you can see here, again, they didn't do any of the deco there, but this is very much clearly an afterthought on this release. Like, you're not buying this to go with the arc. You're buying this because you want a G1 Mainframe. That is straight up the rationale there. And I think this one does pass with fine colors. I mean, just looking again here, even close up here at the eyes, that orange visor is really, really sharp. It looks really good, and it looks a lot nicer than the yellow visor on the original toy. One last thing here to compare is the Sky Spy. It is pretty much unchanged. There's no real differences between the two. It's still that same standard, 3 different colors, and there's not really much different about it. So, yeah. Just figured I had to show it, that said. So if you were to ask me, so is this dramatic capture series worth it? Well, that's a really, really interesting question. Had we not gotten that Commander Class Optimus Prime this year, I would have absolutely said, without a doubt, yes, this is absolutely the best release that we've gotten of Earthrise Optimus Prime from a deco standpoint, if you care about that cartoon accuracy. Like, the white on here looks really good, and that matte finish here on the face is, again, spectacular. Like, he looks fantastic. And if it weren't for the fact that we'd gotten this Commander class this year, yeah, I would have absolutely said, go out and get this. This is a really good last hurrah for a good mold, though, that being said. And Jazz also is really good, too. But, again, Jazz is one of those things where he is really good, except I can then also say, but if you don't want clear plastic, there's a really good alternative out there. Really, ultimately, I think the main reason I kept this pre-order was, well, Mainframe, because this is a really, really good Mainframe toy. And, yeah, it's kind of weird picking it up with that in mind. I think this Jazz will probably replace the other Jazz in my setup, but the Optimus, Optimus is going to kind of be secondary. It's an interesting set, though, and it's absolutely worth checking out. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you're still going to be getting 3 figures for what the Commander class will cost on its own. With that said, this is Techno signing off, and so ends this Earthbound theme as we go into day 13.